Everyone, Dan here. So, real quick, unless you've been living in Iraq, you've probably heard that Blizzard kowtowed to China after a Twitch streamer who was a professional Hearthstone player basically said that he didn't like the very authoritarian position that China, it's their, MO. And why is this kind of thing? Well, this dude was from Hong Kong, and if you guys don't know your history, Hong Kong used to be part of the British Empire, partly due to it being a prize of war following, I think it was is either the first or second Opium War. I don't remember, but basically, Britain whooped China's ass, and they said, "Okay, we're taking this land for trading." Okay, little history. So, as part of that, Hong Kong was a British colony until several years ago, a couple years ago, where they were basically the British. It was one of the last outposts of the British Empire. I mean, so following that, we start seeing the Chinese pushing their will. And the thing is, Hong Kong, because it was as under British, a lot of British style of government was in Hong Kong, so you had democratic elected people, a lot more open free speech, more like us. But because this Twitch player and Hearthstone Pro, but he said, "No, I'm sick of this," and he got banned from the pro tournament for at least a year and something. And the listeners like, "Oh, we don't want people." Something saying we don't want people with the attack. I forget what they said, but they basically saying, "Oh, we respect the right to free speech," which is bullshit. I'm getting annoyed, honestly, because this isn't the first time, and this is something in general that I'm annoyed about tech companies. It's been a habit for them to kowtow to both literally to China and other nations, or the demands of certain groups. So one of the things I find is interesting is that this isn't the only tech company. Apple has removed their what's it called? Their Taiwan emoji, which is stupid because China's basically trying to say that Taiwan's not a country, even though it is. So yeah, I find it kind of hilarious. You think about it. You have these IT companies who have for years been talking about, we need to have, inclusivity, diversity, we have to get, we want to have everyone's story, we talk about, dealing with oppressed people. Well, what's more oppressed than a big ass nation like China basically throwing their weight and claiming, no, Taiwan isn't a country, despite the fact Taiwan probably is, in many ways per capita better than China. At least it was for a long time. China, because the resources have gotten, the dragon finally woke up, and now they're producing most of the world's manufacturing goods. But what's mind-numbing, honestly, is that, again, you have these people, willing to, which is funny because you'd think tech companies, you want information, but I don't know. I don't get it because a lot of these people again were probably from the intersectionality. A lot of the big tech have kind of intersectionality training, so you think they'd be like, "Oh well, these countries, we're trying to have human rights. We're very pro human." China's very, a lot of cities straight up, like their people, they just get, this may have gotten better or may or not, but disappeared. You have the president, the chairman getting butthurt because to Winnie the Pooh. This guy clearly doesn't know how to take. That's what I hate. Is instead of just saying whatever, they're gonna make fun of me, or go, yeah, you know what? If the president, I forget what his name is, or what, I don't know. And it's not. I just can't remember the guy's name. But if he's so worried, oh, he looks like Winnie the Pooh, then rock that. Say, yeah. And I get all the honey pot. Or, play with it. See, I think, you know what? That would have worked better. Instead of getting all butthurt about that, you should have just been like, bitch, yeah, I am. And what's great about Winnie the Pooh, he always gets the honey pot. You see that? He should have played it as been very confident. You see that? Then that destroys your opposition, because if you're running with it, see, the problem is authoritarian governments don't know how to roll with it, especially like mild insults. They could have rolled with it. And then people, I mean, I'm pretty sure when George Bush heard about like the chimp memes where he was like, "It looks like that," I'm pretty sure he was like, "Ha, hey, that's funny." So what I'm basically saying is I'm getting sick and fucking tired of us I like using the word kowtow. You know what? Honestly, here's the thing: since China is violating human, how about Apple? And how about we move? That iPhone thing, instead of being there, because that's probably why they have you by the balls, why not move it to a place where, I don't know, that's a little bit more friendly and more conducive. It's funny, I think about it, instead of sending it to China, why not send it to, like, India, like something like, maybe India, or perhaps somewhere like in Africa, like Liberia, or, build up another country, a country that shares more of our values. I mean, how great would it be? Like, you send that, you have a manufacturing thing helping a developing nation that does fall in line. Like, that's why I say Liberia, India is developed. So the advantage is, again, they're a democracy. They're a republic. And I know those can be synonymous, but I know one doesn't necessarily mean the other. But yeah, they have a much more democratic system. They because of their and a lot of them speak English. So I know that's not essentially a plus, but what I'm saying is there's less of a ideological and culture, not exactly culture, but I think ideological difference. I think that's what we should do. We should be looking for people who are, again, much more free speech, much more open, much more human rights oriented. Like, if I don't think we should be rewarding. I'll say the same thing about Saudi Arabia. I think we should stop. I think straight up we should say, we're not going to support tyrannical regimes or genocidal regimes or censoring regimes, because people need to live and information needs to flow. In fact, I think that's what we should do. We should basically say, China and Saudi Arabia, we're instead of running off, oil, we're gonna start transitioning more to non-fossil fuels, so we can basically. That's how we should do it. We should basically put. I am some ways for economic warfare, or even technological war, by developing new technologies so that we don't have to, get oil from the Middle East. Or, again, China. We move the manufacturing to places closer. I think we should be, instead of, again, building your iPhones in China, I think we should be helping out, say, I don't know, Central or South American countries and help, help stabilize that, maybe help them out with their, if as they say, if people are making a living and are happy, there's less likely to be instability. We could, by helping, maybe the Caribbean countries like Belize, or maybe Honduras, we help by building up in our own area, and that way we do it good, help out, a developing country, while basically saying, no, China, you're not gonna listen to you. We're gonna be on the right side. But then that's me being, idealistic. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much said what I need to said. I know this video, even if I could still get monetized, but listen, if you like this, please share it, because YouTube algorithm, because I said I talk shit about China and Saudi, it probably means I am both labeled xenophobic to the extreme and Islamophobic. Ooh, just because I said, hey, I don't agree with what genocide or imprisoning people because they think the the chairman looks like Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, so share this, like and subscribe, and thank you.